Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Turn on your volume. How is everyone doing today? Demoted to AQ. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. But are you at least working on fixing the bad habits? Promoted to AQ. Fighting spirit is not working? Hmm. Hmm. Are you doing too much fighting spirit? They refuse to play how you read. uh, defense first. Defense first. Started USA and then didn't do USA? Doesn't make sense, but okay. Oops. Oops. That's invasions. I don't see anything wrong with the fighting spirit. I don't see things wrong with the fighting spirit. I see a couple basics being messed up. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, here, here, connect, and that's an Atari. He can go here, and he can kill. Or you can just Atari under and squeeze, and he connects. No, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. No, I see basic, 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 and then mess up the fight. So more basic mistakes. So make sure you're not messing up basics while you're trying to do fighting spirit. Yeah. Yeah. All right. He said, ready when I am. Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, I want sound. Okay, I'll just close that. All right, let's do this. Oop. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yep, sure can.
Awesome. How are you?
Doing pretty well, thanks.
Cool.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All right, so is this our first lesson?
Yeah, you did a review for me like 5 months ago or something. But
Okay. Um, all right, so I just had to, I made you a new spreadsheet because I couldn't find it. So I was like, I guess it's a new student. Okay, cool. So yeah, I have the sheet up. I have the two games up. Can you tell me a little bit about your study habits and what you're currently working on and struggling with?
yeah, so I've started playing Go about a year ago. Uh, Played like a ton of 9x9. Found your, Klossy approach like I don't know, 4 months ago or 5 months ago or something, and I've just
Mm,
been kind of thinking through that. And then I read a few Go books just like cursorily. I haven't like sat down and done a ton of exercises. And
mhm.
you can see that where my rating starts going down a couple months ago is where I turn off the score estimator on OGS and start doing my own score estimation.
Okay. Um, yeah, don't use the OGS assisted tools. You need to everything you need to learn how to make your judgment calls as soon as possible, your own judgment calls, because uh you need the practice. And every little thing that prevents you from gaining experience is going to hurt you long term. So yeah, make sure you're not
That's
using the
exactly. I said I turned them all off. Yeah.
yeah, no analysis tool, no score estimator. Learn how to do it yourself. Um, okay, so it looks like you've played. Oh, you're about to reach 700 games. It's pretty good. So have all your games been on OGS?
Yeah, they've all been on there, and almost 100% of my 19 by 19 games have been correspondence.
Oh. Okay, so you've mostly played correspondence.
A huge majority.
Okay, have you heard
I've
my
I've played like 4 live games ever.
have you heard my opinions on correspondence?
And no, I haven't.
So I actually really discourage correspondence when you're trying to improve. Correspondence is more about um playing casually and playing when you have like a day job and stuff. But if you are trying to improve, correspondence is really, really hard to gain a lot of experience very quickly. Because games can take like months to
Gotcha. Yeah.
games take so long to finish. So it's really hard to gain experience quickly. So I do want to encourage you to play like 10 to 20 live games a week if you can. Um, but yeah, so with the two games that you sent in, are these live games or correspondence?
Correspondence.
Okay. No, that's fine. We can start with that. Just in the future, I think live games. I want to see your habits live. Even if you like D rank like 10 ranks, I don't care. I want to see what can you do live. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses in a live game? Um.
Yeah.
So with that, what do you think your current weaknesses are?
Um, so I've been really interested in some of the strategic ideas in the opening, and I
Mhm.
feel I'll be confident, like, oh, it's going great, like I'm building power and like, but balancing it with territory, and I've got all these ideas. And then things just often fall apart when it comes to fighting
Mhm.
or anything complicated. I'll feel like, oh, I'm super confident this whole area is mine, and then 3 moves later, it's all gone. Uh,
Okay.
so maybe identifying weak, maybe analyzing what is weak and what is strong. I don't know.
Okay. So do these two games reflect that idea of where they came in your area and you just didn't know how to deal with it?
Yeah, both of them have those sections, especially the first one. I was feeling great, and then just like you
Okay.
see that huge clump.
Review
Yep.
started.
Okay,
So both of
so
them do.
I have the game against Audi loaded. Just join whenever. Do you know how to join the review?
Um, if I go to that game, is it going to be like in the chat of it?
Yeah. If you go to the game, it's
In
in the chat. It
OGS.
says Clausius review number 685489.
Let's see. Yep, I have clicked that now,
All right. There you are.
and I'm watching the stream too.
Okay. Yeah, but the stream will lag a
Yeah.
little bit, and I want to ask you questions in real time.
Okay.
So
Yep.
make sure that you're watching the demo, so that way you can answer in real time. All right.
Okay, I
So
am.
you are white. So have you read over the Clausius approach?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So open corners first. All right, direction of play is any direction, so right or bottom is perfectly fine. So you chose right, okay. So this is fine for double digit Q, but this is actually really bad for you at single digit Q. Um, because when you're on your opponent's side, so black is on your side of the board. If they settle like super solid, super safe, and super easy on your side of the board, then it's gonna be really good for black. Like this is really good for black because black is like super safe and that was on your side of the board. So you should be a little bit more aggressive,
Hmm.
like here, or something like that. You should choose a Joseki that's a little bit more powerful. And if you don't like that, then maybe just choose a pincer, and then let them settle like easily on their side, but not your side. Your side, you need a combination. You need to get more than black on your side of the board, ideally. So this just feels very soft. And maybe lacks fighting spirit here. So this just like is just maybe is not good for a 6Q. Why here?
I think my feeling is I want to get the same amount on the right that he got on the left, and it's
He doesn't have
just
anything on
like
the
it.
left.
It feels. I mean, I'm sorry, on the bottom,
Oh, okay.
uh, and and this is what my analysis of it. Are those three stones weak right now? Like if he comes in at R8, uh, or I should say if they come in at R8, am I going to end up fighting for a tiny little territory? I don't really know. So I'm thinking, well, this sort of does
Okay, so
makes me a little safer. Yeah.
rule thing number one. Do you know that this is the end of the Joseki?
No.
Okay. So this is where the Joseki ends, and then white Tanugis, white Hisente. Uh, so if you look at a Joseki dictionary, even on OGS, if I just look at the Joseki dictionary, boop boop when it loads, dude, dude, when it loads, dude, and then dude. All right. And at the end of this, traditionally this was the most common Joseki and considered a typical solid combination. After AI, this Joseki virtually disappeared in professional play. However, for DDK, this is still a good choice. Okay, so for single digit Q, it's not a good choice anymore. And then it tells you some follow ups like that you can do in the future, but pretty much you continue key. So it doesn't tell you that's the end of Joseki, but this is the end of the Joseki. Now, the reason we say the end of the Joseki is because it means both sides settled, it's an even result locally, and Sente is very, very valuable. So, our double digit Q basics tell us we want to ignore as soon as possible. Okay, we want to just Tanuki as much as possible and
Okay.
get to the big thing. So, if black approaches right here, can we Tanuki?
I would think not, because I would be
Uh,
worried about R3 or
with
like.
basics, no. Basics say defense first. So you can Tanuki this. This is another Joseki, but that's a higher level concept. But basics wise, we we have one on one. Black is near you. You need a base. Okay, so we make a base, and we know the good shape for that is a knight's move. Okay, then black slides. This slide, the idea is I'm going to, if you try to go play big move, I'm going to steal your base. So the second line is a
Right.
stealing idea. So I'm going to steal your base. Okay. And then you have to make a base here. So black is able to make a base by stealing yours. And he does that in Sente because it forces you to make a base and then still come back and play a big move. So he doesn't lose anything on the global exchange rate. And locally, he was able to steal your corner. So that's not good. So you want to block
Right.
your base. You would block right here if you could, but then you get cut. And that's just not good. So we want to block in a way that doesn't get cut. So we play here. Okay. And then black plays here because one stone jumps two. Now black has a base with a slide, so it's really nice and really efficient. And white can ignore as well because if you play here, I go here, that is alive. Okay. If you go here, I can go
Hmm.
here. That is alive. So
Gotcha.
you can only
Hmm.
get one move. If you could unsettle me and chase me, then I'm not settled. But if I have a base, if I have enough space for two eyes, or in this case, I have a Mii, so I have here and here. Which another good example of that would be here. If black plays over here, can you ignore one? Yes, because you have a Mii for a base here versus here. If you have a Mii, then that's
Hmm.
also alive. So the idea is, you are weak if you are near your opponent without a base, or on or behind the line of influence without a base. And a base is efficient eye space. Does that make sense?
So if I don't know that I'm at the end of the Joseki, I could be looking just for a Mii for a
Mm-hmm.
base, and then if I've got one, go somewhere else at the beginning.
Yeah, because you want a Tanuki as soon as possible because big moves are very valuable. The At double the
Right.
Q, the amount of moves you waste is insane. Like you could probably gain like 20 or 30 moves on a double digit Q if you can Tanuki and they don't. So you want to Tanuki as much as possible. However, defense first. It's the highest priority is defense first. So once you have your base, then or once you have a group or whatever, once your opponent's near you, you're like, I want a Tanuki, but I'm going to defend first. And as soon as you're defended, you leave
Hmm.
and go play next thing. Make sense? So in this
Yep.
in this in this
Totally.
case, it's just understanding this is the end of Joseki because this group is fine. Okay. Now we know that now, but in the game you did not. Okay. So now we understand this move. You're playing defense, correct? Wait, actually, are you playing?
Yeah.
Are you
Right.
playing defense?
I'm playing defense with like, plus it gets me some points. You know what I mean?
Okay. So
A profitable
defense,
defense is how I was thinking about it.
defense here would be make a base. Okay. So make a base would be here. Bases are on the third line. Fourth line is not really for a base; it's for developing.
Okay.
So going to the fourth line here doesn't make sense because this looks like you're trying to develop something. And there's nothing there to develop. So this doesn't make sense. Being on this line just doesn't make sense for defense. Okay. Usually you go on the fourth line if
Gotcha.
you have support on both sides. Okay, so next move. Um, are we playing defense, offense, or big move?
Uh, um, I think big move
Okay, so
is
do
what
you
I was
have any
thinking.
groups near your opponent without a base?
No.
Okay, does he have any groups near you without a base?
No.
All right, so yes, you're on big move. All right, what are our big moves? Question one. Um, is there an open corner, a corner with no stones in it? A corner section of the board
No.
with no stones. Okay. Is there an empty side? A side with no stones on it?
Yeah, the left
Okay.
and maybe the top. I don't know if the top.
The
Yeah,
top has a single enclosure, so it's no longer open. It has an
gotcha.
enclosure. Okay.
Okay,
So just the left side is left. Okay. So that means we're still in the opening. Open corners, open sides is the opening. Largest framework is middle game. Okay, so we're in the opening. So we now know we want
gotcha.
to play the
Yeah,
left side is our direction to play. And we have three options. We have enclosure, extension, or approach. Those are our options. You follow? Do you kind of agree and follow that logic?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one is incorrect because the left side is bigger than the top side. Not by
Mm-hmm.
much. It's by 2
I think it was
lines.
in biggest framework.
Yeah. So biggest framework, this would be correct, but we're still in open sides. All right.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Single digit Q want to slide, but I'm actually looking at your moves. I'm actually not convinced about the rank. So I really want you to play live games because I'm actually not sure. So far, I'm seeing some double digit Q tendencies, and that I don't want. That doesn't mean you're a bad player or anything. I think that it's just correspondence might translate differently than the live play I've been seeing from other
Mm-hmm.
students. So I want to see where your rank it falls with live games. And just let it fall wherever. Don't take it personally or anything. Just let it fall where it falls, and then work your way up.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about.
Okay. So if you're single digit Q, this is the move you should be playing. If you're not, then this is fine. Okay, so this is a good result for you. Black should have played here. Then we played this Joseki. And black gets influence, you get the corner.
Gotcha.
That's probably what should have happened. This is okay. This is good for you. All right. Now, same questions again. Do you have any weak groups?
I don't think so.
Okay. Does black have any weak groups?
I think I'm looking at R11, wondering if it's weak. Like it looks.
Look at A
So I just
until I
switched
consider
right
A
to
a weak group.
framework.
Yep, you just switched to framework because there's no longer an open or empty side. So now we're at largest framework.
Gotcha.
I would look
Okay,
at A
great.
if I considered A a weak group, which is an argument actually because technically black has a stone on both sides of a star point, so there's no more influence, so you need a base. So you could make that argument, and that would be fine. But if you don't consider it a weak group, then you need to play a largest framework, which is here.
Gotcha.
All right, so you played here. This is not the largest framework, so this moves small. All right, so he did, so you're a little bit behind now. All right, and you invaded the 3-3, perfectly fine, but do you know that this is a ko?
No, I have no idea of that.
Okay, so star point, 3-3 lives. We have that, right? You know this Joseki?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the 3-3 lives. With a knight's move, it is a ko. That's the Joseki.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to go for life, black can actually Hane, and then if you cut, you just Nobi. And the inside life is actually dead. So you can force black on the outside, but you're gonna die in the corner. Make sense?
Gotcha.
All right, and that's
Yep,
just
totally.
that's just a variation to study. You kind of just need to know that invading a knight's move is a ko. So this one is going to be a ko.
That's really handy.
However, single digit Q tactics. If you have stone right here, you can make this trade. Boom, and then do the 3-3. Push there and go down. All of a sudden, you're alive instead of a ko.
Nice. That is handy. That happens to me a lot where I'm struggling in that
Okay.
under a knight's move like that.
Other variations would be here. This is another single digit Q idea. It's just learning Josekis. Here versus here. This is just learning Josekis. This should be self-study. This is where you study Josekis. You're like, okay, I want to learn how to invade a knight's move. Well, guess what? You use books and Josekipedia and all that stuff. You ask for it in game reviews or lectures or whatever. And the more so Josekis are like tools in a toolbox. The more tools you have to do the job, or the more options you have to do the job, the more flexible you can be to the position. But starting with our double digit Q basics, we have the 3-3, which is a ko, and we have an invasion right here. Okay, those are our double digit Q. Single digit Q, we can add on attachments, and then forcing moves and forcing moves. And then if you know Joseki, you can also do that one and that one. If you know Josekis. So you can see the stronger you get, the more options you have to handle the situation. But at minimum, you need to have those two. Make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
All right. So you played here, so this is a ko. Okay, so you do know the ko. You played the ko exactly, so you do know it. What?
Oh, well, I mean, maybe by chance.
Okay, so you just lived. That's cool. This is the mistake. Okay. So at this point, defense first. It's a ko for your death. Obviously, you're gonna fix. Okay. But now, defense first. You're alive in the top right, but D4 is now a weak group, yes?
Uh-huh. Right, right,
So
right.
you need to make a base. You can also try to pincer, but this might get complex. But still, the idea is respond to D4 now because weak groups first. This is not defense first. Your top right is already alive. And this is something that
Right.
takes a lot
Yep.
of discipline to do is when you're reviewing your games, critically analyze every single move and identify when do you waste moves. So this would be a wasted move. Because what if I ignore an attack, you know? Like, yeah, you can do that, but now it's a question of, okay, is the attack at A bigger than the attack at B? That's not a question that's easy to answer without a lot of counting
Right.
and calculation. So it's a very high risk plan. Okay, so you don't need high risk plans. You don't need plans without being able to count. If you just got done using the score estimator, you don't need to be counting the differences in attack value. It's too complex. So simplify the game for yourself. Defense first. Make sense? And
Makes sense.
when you review
Yep,
your
I
games,
think it's just discipline, like you said. I just
yeah,
got excited.
when you review your games, it's very important that you identify these types of moves. Okay, this is fine, but the response should be here. This is easier. If you really want to unsettle
Yep.
C6, then it's here, and then like that. That's the Joseki. But this one, I can still pincer you, and you're going to be trapped in the corner. Yeah, you can live. That's fine, but I just make influence, and no one likes getting surrounded.
hmm
Okay. Pincer is a bit attacky, considering you just invested for the corner, but now you're going for the side. So if you wanted to pincer, go for the side. But here you went for the corner, and now you're going for the side. It's a little, it's a little risky. Doesn't quite make sense, but okay. This is a mistake because it lets you connect under. Do you know this shape?
Nope.
Okay, so when there's a stone on both sides of your stone, you're not supposed to 1 point jump. Because if 1 point jump's fine at double digit Q because defense first, right? But it allows me to connect through the jump. Okay, so the way you deal with this specific shape is you play a diagonal because now there's no connection. So it's one line less, but it keeps white cut. You go one line slower, but you can keep your opponent cut. So it's kind of a side shape. And then the follow-up is like this. But you see how your corner gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So it's not an ideal shape for you, but that's why black should play it. So when black plays this, then you should use the connection.
Is this something I would learn in a?
This is something.
Is that a Joseki that I would?
This is not a Joseki. This is more of a side common shape. So the way to learn stuff like this is either from game reviews, lectures, or books. Like it's almost impossible to find this on your own. So watching lectures, getting game reviews on a regular basis, lessons, of course, and lectures or watching other people's game reviews. That's how you learn this stuff. So with Go, it's 50% play, 50% study. So you need to do half and half. So you need to be playing like 10 to 20 games a week. They need you to review those games. You need to be doing Go problems every single day. You need to be watching lectures, reading books. Um, yeah, so this shape comes in either books, lectures, reviews, or lessons. But basically, someone has to tell you the shape. You can't. It's extremely difficult to find the shape on your own. And there's a lot of shapes like that, by the way. Okay. Now we're getting into attack and defense, and this is where you said you're struggling. So
Yeah.
defense first. Stay connected. That's good. So this one first we're saying okay. We need to decide that I'm defending A. Okay. Make sure we're on the same page. I'm defending A. You said I'm going to run away. I agree with
Yep.
this because there is no efficient eye space. There is no base. There's no efficient eye space. Okay, so running away.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Running
Yep.
away is the correct option. Whenever they play this, I would first consider the bamboo joint, but it's an empty triangle. Empty triangles, bad liberties. So I do agree with the connection. The idea is don't get cut when you're playing defense. It's very, very dangerous. Okay. Now you're wanting to run away. Now you played a Hane. Now here we get into our first bit of reading. In double digit cues, there's only two things you have to read: cutting points and life and death. In other words, when something gets surrounded, you need to be able to find the bulky 5, bit 3, or whatever. And the other thing is cutting points, which if you're watching the Colossi Approach series, I talk about this like left and right. It's just cutting points and life and death. Cutting points and life and death. It's the only thing you have to read. So when you place a shape like a Hane or a Knight's Move for defense, you have to read the cutting point. It is vital. It is the most important thing to read. Because if you compare it to just playing this is clearly connected. So you're trying to escape while staying connected. Hane is faster, but it has a cutting point. So if I play this, what is your response? Can you answer that question?
Uh,
It's not
I'm
as
tempted to
important.
say something like my plan may have been something. Oh, go ahead.
Well, my point isn't to read it now. It's did you check this during the game? Did you have a response
I don't
for this
remember.
when you
I
played?
think
Well, let's find
I
out.
assume I would. I wouldn't.
We,
Yeah.
because we can
Yeah.
actually usually tell from the follow-ups. So he played here and you played here. So I actually think you probably did. I think the plan was if he cuts, then I will countercut and go down. I th- I think that was your plan. Now, I'm not positive, I'm not in your head, but this is very important that you build this habit of always checking your cuts before you play a cuttable shape. Okay, it's extremely important. Now, the question is this correct or not? So let's count the liberties 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we're good. So if we play this way, it just dies. Okay, makes sense. Can he expand his liberties somehow? Boom, boom, 3 to 4. Boom, boom, boom. 4 to 4, we play first. Okay, it looks like we're good. Looks like all the reading is good. If I play here, it's 3 to 3. I play first. Boom, boom. Can you expand it? No. Okay, so it looks like your reading was correct. Okay, that's fine. If your reading's correct, it's correct. But make sure you're reading that. It's very, very important. And now he played here. So am I going to continue here? Well, let's see. If he cuts, boom, 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 boom. Oops. Now we're cut apart. So he fixed it. Okay, and then you fixed. As soon as he fixed it, now you fix your cutting point. That means your follow-up is consistent with the idea of what your Hana was doing. So you made a good
All
choice.
right. I'll take it.
Yeah, it looks like you made a good choice, but I want you to understand my my logic for justifying or proving or disproving if it's good or not. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah, totally.
what's important
Totally
isn't
sense.
you just listen to me telling you this is good, this is bad. I want you to understand how do I arrive at my answer? Okay, how do I understand it? How do I make that decision? That's the process you have to learn. Because the Go is every position in Go is unique, so it's you have to always know how do you judge the position? How do you arrive at an answer? Okay, so let's look at the next move. You played here. I completely agree with this. That stone is now much weaker. Your corner is out, and that one is getting surrounded. So yeah, defense first. Okay, so now what do you do? All right, knight's move, and you're leaning on the corner. What do you think this is good or bad?
Um, I mean, at the time, I must have thought it was good.
Mhm.
The other thing I would have been considering is E11. Um, I think I wouldn't want to play C13 because I'm scared of attaching and don't know what
So
to do
let's
with
back
it.
up before we talk about
Uh,
exact moves. What is the goal of the turn?
um, defense of that side group because I don't have anywhere to like if he managed or
First
they
question:
managed to
do you have
like
any weak
cut.
groups? Do you
I
have any weak
think the
groups?
group on the left side is weak.
The A group is weak.
Yeah.
Is that it?
The group in the corner is weak, but it sort of has a lot of places to go. So I'm not so worried
Mm,
about it.
what are the two rules for a weak group? Do you remember? Said at the start of the lesson.
Having a base or uh, it's stones near other stones without a base, I think is
Okay,
what you said.
so not having a base near your opponent's stones, but you also have to be behind or on the line of influence of Black's control.
Oh, okay.
So you are behind that without a base. That means it's a weak group.
Okay.
Because
That's
we we
really concrete.
we can prove that by saying, can Black play forcing moves and get profit over White in Sente?
Hmm.
Because it has to be Sente. So can Black
Right.
play Sente forcing moves and get profit in Sente? And not just one where you have a Miai for life. That yeah, is more than one. Can Black attack this and gain profit? So for example, if I just ignore,
Um,
if I play here, is that Sente?
yeah.
Okay. If I play here, is that
Yeah, because
Sente?
I got to run.
If I play here,
Yep,
is that
yep, yep,
Sente?
yep.
Is that getting profit? Boom,
Hmm.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Okay, how many points did White get? How much influence did Black get? And it's 2 points for each influence. So you can consider 2 points for each influence. So that's at least 8 points for Black with potential for more, and White gets 0. That is
0 points.
absolutely profit for Black. And all of that was forcing, so I did all of that in Sente. And now I can go play a big move. Does that make sense?
Right.
So yes, it is a weak group
Yep.
because
It
forcing
sure
moves
does.
exist. Okay, so we have two weak groups.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I certainly was not considering that line, that blue line.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's not just a base because that would just be a question of will I die? No, I'm not gonna die. If you have to be like, if B's not gonna die to Nikki, I'm gonna Nikki every time because I'm never gonna die with B. Not on this position, because you have
Right.
escape routes, you have ice space in the corner. You're never gonna die. The question isn't of choice
I
of
think
death.
that
Though.
I was using that definition. Yeah.
Yeah, the choice isn't about death. The choice is about a positive exchange rate for Black, and that is very dangerous
Hmm.
because that's how you win is positive exchange rates. It's not about making 100 points first. It's about making 100 points more than your opponent or making 1 point more than your opponent. In other words, the exchange rate of points. Okay, so
Are you worried at all about Group A? Like, would you say that A
yeah, I would say A is
has
a
a
weak
base?
group. Even though because one stone jumps two. So when we have one stone jumps two, that is okay until there's a stone on both sides. Now, in this case, it's
Uh,
you have a two-space gap, so it's not as weak as a stone on both sides. But when there is a stone on both sides, you're supposed to jump, like here or here. Now, here's the problem: you have usually three options with a two-space jump. You can either jump this way, or run away. Okay, you've already lost 2 out of 3 of those options. You can't run away now, or you can't jump
hmm.
and you can't go here. So, and this one's almost gone as well. Like it's arguable that that one's gone. So yeah, two space jumps are strong, are good for base up until there's more stones around them. So in this case, yes, I would defend this because I need one more move, and this is a touching move. You don't want that to be touching either. So I need like one more move and shape. So like that, now I would consider it strong and alive. Now it's alive because now I have that extra eye.
Okay.
Because the two space jump is only a box 4, which we know is one eye. So I need like something
Right.
else.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's not a little bit more than that. That's pretty much alive. So in this case, I would say run away because you can't make efficient ice base. So I would say, yeah, you want to run away. So the question is, first you have to identify. I have two weak groups. Okay, now that's not ideal. Where did my A go? Whatever. B and C. So we have two weak groups, and we have to ask. Okay, I have two weak groups. That's not ideal, but sometimes we get in these positions. Okay, so first thing we do is which one is weaker? That's the one you have to play on. Okay, which one is weaker? That's a difficult question to answer. It's very complex, and also it changes every single turn. It can change every single turn. So, this one's probably too complex to answer perfectly because I can't not see the connection at D. So in my mind, I'm like, I have two weak groups. Let's just connect. Then I like I can't not see that. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about the judgment call in this
So I could
position.
still connect even with the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because if he cuts, boom, 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 boom. If he tries to kill or cut, he just dies. So he has to make life. Um, and then you can just start connecting or even gain strength. But now you have all these forcing moves, and he's even weaker on the outside. And it's not ideal for black. It's not ideal. You could also consider this, which is another idea. And if he does that, you have that. So there's a lot of Tsujis in that shape. It's just not good. So I can't not see the connection. Um, so the idea here is I need to figure out which one's weaker. Now you made the judgment call that C is the weaker group. Okay, we're just gonna take that into account because I can't not see the connection. So the connection is obviously better. So let's say we know that your idea was to help the left side, and that's what we're going to focus on now. Now we've understood the goal. Now we want to understand, did the move accomplish that goal? Okay, so step one, make a base. Can't really do that. Can't go here without touching, so we can't make a base. Step two is run away. Okay, so the first instinct would be a 1-point jump, but this does have a peep and a cut, so maybe that's not ideal. So I think probably the solid shape would be this one. That's as far as you can go without getting cut to escape and then try to run. So you chose this one, which is still technically on the same line. So it's still technically just as far, but maybe I think your plan is to force this exchange so you get out further without actually helping black. So that's a possible
Yeah.
argument. However, the first thing we have to check is you played a knight's move. Is that cuttable? That's the first thing I'm going to check. Every single time my opponent defends with a knight's move, that's the first thing I check is can I cut it? So there's two places to check. First is push, push, cut. Okay. This one, I think it's Nobi. Then if you fix this one, that one dies. So you have to fix this one. But then you push, 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 kill. Okay, if you read that sequence, that doesn't work. I mean, if you don't read this, you can't play the knight's move. That's kind of the solution here. So this one, this one, this one, this is a ladder, but it's the same idea, same concept. I sacrifice one stone to attack your entire group. So if you see this idea of A is too weak to cut the knight, if you make that judgment call, you can play the knight's move. If you did not read that and make that judgment call, this is a bad knight's move. Do you agree with that logic?
Yeah, the logic makes sense. I don't remember if I
Okay.
judged that or not.
Yeah, but make sure you're doing this in the future is the idea. Okay, so now
Yeah, yeah.
let's see what black plays. Boom. Boom. We fixed the cut. That's good. Boom. Stay connected. Boom. Good. Defense. Boom. All right. So now you have made the judgment call that A is weaker than B. I don't know if I agree with that because what is different? White is one line higher, and that's it. So I don't know if the A has changed how weak it is compared to B, but okay. So you made the judgment call that this one's weak. That's fine. Whatever. Just fix the weakest one.
I think I was feeling confident that Group B could like. Oh.
Okay. That's fine. We'll see how it goes. So you played defense. This one's interesting. So first off, knight's move, can it be cut? Is this cuttable?
My feeling was
You can't have a feeling. You have to read
if
it.
they
You have to know.
played f7, then I would get the.
Okay, so here.
Well, I didn't think so.
Okay, so that's tiger's mouth, right?
Right.
And there's always two spots to check. You check push through the knight. You check jump through the knight. Okay, here, 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 and then here. So is it cuttable?
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, no, not cuttable.
It's not cuttable. Okay, you have to know. You cannot guess with cutting points. You cannot feel it. You can't. You have to know with cutting points. You have to read it and know this is not cuttable. That's the confidence you need to have to play Knight's Move and Hane. But as long as you read it, it's fine. Okay, you can do it. It's very powerful. Now, why did you pick this one over this one? Because if you're looking at A, this direction looks definitely better for defense. Yes?
Yeah, I think I wanted to attack Black's group at the same time. Is my thinking.
Exactly. Single digit Q, you defend in a way that also pressures your opponent. It's even more powerful than a basic defense. But it's important you understand the difference. If I'm playing basic defense, I'm running away as fast as possible. But if I'm playing single digit Q, I'm also looking at my opponent's
The other thing that changed.
Hmm?
Yeah, sorry, we're having some lag or something. I think you asked what changed that I switched my focus on the different to the other my own other white group, and a big difference is that I could do that. Knight's move now, pressing Black into my more connected group on the left, whereas before there was that big gap there that Black could have run away from this attack by cutting me.
That's fine. That's not bad. Okay, that solution is your judgment is correct here. The idea is to make sure you understand what is actually happening, and that way we can critically analyze the follow-ups. So okay, we are pressuring while running. That is very good. All right, so Black runs. Now the left side should definitely be weaker, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you played here. Black plays here. Do you agree with this move? I don't agree with this move. I don't agree with this move.
My move?
Yeah.
With B6? Well, yeah, I'm feeling I'm connecting my
You're connecting
weak group to my now
A
my
to
I
B,
don't have a base on the left now.
But you're getting a weak group at C.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you just made C lose its base. So yeah.
Right.
You get cut, but you still have eye space in the corner and eye space on the side, and Black has none. So it's actually pretty. It should be pretty doable to handle this. But as soon as you have no base with the center stones, now you only have one weak group, so there is that. But you have to connect, and now Black is going to defend himself while attacking you, and you sort of lose control of the fight.
Yeah.
This is why multiple weak groups is very dangerous. You got to be very careful with multiple weak groups. Okay, so I disagree with this decision. But okay, so you fix the cutting point, just fix. Don't give them forcing moves. Because this is not only a Datari, it's also a push and cut. So this is not good. Just fix. Just fix.
Okay.
Okay. Why here? This is a huge blunder.
I don't remember. And now looking at that, it looks like a blunder.
Yeah, because does it have anything to do with your connection? Can Black cut you if you don't do it?
No.
So it's not defense then.
Nope.
Black cannot do anything to you if he saves that stone. Okay, so it's not.
Yeah.
Defense.
What? So when you're in a classy approach, when I'm looking for weak groups, I see I have my own weak group, and I should be doing defense first. So, but how would you decide when C6 as a separate group would be worth attacking and splitting off?
This? Okay, let me give you my definition of a group. Okay, a group is a stone or string of stones that represents an area or is greater than 7 or cutting stones. Okay? So, for
Okay.
example, a star point represents a corner if it dies. The entire corner becomes black if it dies. That's a lot more than just 2 points, right? But the A stone is literally just 2 points. Okay?
Yep.
So 7 stones or less is really, really small unless it represents an area.
Gotcha.
Our exception to that is cutting stones.
Mm-hmm.
So cutting stones are worth saving. So if we look at the B group, the B group is a string of stones. It is less than 7, but if they die, it's not what is that? 4 stones. It's not 8 points. It's like 15 points. That's an area. So that's a group. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Also,
Yep. Okay.
B is
Great.
cutting off the C group, so it's like also a cutting stone group. So that is your definition of a group. Okay, so A is not a group. All right, so you place here, you run away, perfectly fine. Stay connected, good. Run away. Is this running away? This looks like you're playing.
I
This is
think it
like
might
you're trying
help me
to.
run away.
No, because this is just trying to get a point and pushing your opponent's area. What if I just ignore you?
Well, I was trying to get an extra turn. Like maybe this is flawed thinking, but my thinking, like if I go K5 and they respond at K4, which maybe
I'm
they
not
never
going to.
would.
Yeah,
Um,
so if this does not
okay.
run
Well,
away,
yeah.
we have to think of your opponent is attacking you, yes? Okay, so
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
K5 threaten black's base or anything like that? Anything more important than attacking you? It has to be more important than attacking you. Cannot just be points.
Yeah, I guess not. It just
Okay.
it's scary to me when people do that to me. So
Yes, it is. It's scary, but if as long as I don't lose my base, you're in a life and death problem. All I lose is some points. Points when you get
yeah,
when you
okay.
get stronger
Yep.
and more and understand your fundamentals, you realize points is not that big of a deal compared to urgent stuff. Points is just big move,
Right.
but compared to
That's really
urgent,
helpful.
urgent is super big, super dangerous. So if you push right here and I surround you, you have to like start trying to kill me. And now it becomes a capturing race, life and death crap. It's really complex. Okay, so maybe he'll respond just out of instinct, but you have to be very careful about that. What if they What if they go for the attack? Because they're supposed to attack you, and the way they attack you is surround, like unsettle and surround, and then reduce ice space and then vital point. You have to assume that they're going to do that, and then make sure that you're doing something that's more important than attacking you. Attacking you is literally the second biggest
Hmm.
thing. The only thing more important is defense for them. So you have to make them defend themselves. Okay? And that's just one problem. Here's the second problem. Let's assume that this move was Sente. Let's assume that that was threatening their base and they're going to die if they don't. I don't know if that's true in this case, but let's assume that's true. This is a forcing move. We call this Aji. Okay? Potential. It's a free move for you. Okay? But when we have Aji, it is very, very, very bad to use it if it does not help us with our goal. So our goal right
Hmm.
now is to play
Yep.
defense, and we're at the step where we run away. So our goal right now is to move in that direction. How does this exchange help us move in that direction? How does this help our goal? If it doesn't,
Not at all.
we made our
Yep.
opponent stronger. Like, how do you know there's not a Tsuji here or something later? Like, what if I get a stone right here?
Hmm.
That would be great. But if you fix it and make them stronger, now it's an easy response. Like,
Right.
so don't kill Aji without a very good reason. Aji is meant to help your goal. If it does not help your goal, it's a bad exchange. So you got to be very careful with this. Okay, this you looks like you're overplaying. This is definitely overplayed. This just doesn't work. Okay, stop playing all the Aji. Like this is Aji Keshi. You're killing all of the Aji, and you're not playing defense. You're playing Aji Keshi,
Uh-huh.
which is bad in and of itself. You're making your opponent stronger in a way that doesn't give you any value. So Aji Keshi is fixing Aji without it helping the goal. Using Aji without it helping the goal. So you just fix your opponent for
Right.
no reason. Just because it's Sente doesn't mean you should do it. It's actually really, really, really bad to fix Aji. So You're playing Ajikeshi instead of playing defense. That's like doubly bad. So it's really, really bad moves right here. Okay, you're just giving it the group because this has nothing to do with the A group. Absolutely nothing to do with the A group. So I could just kill you. Actually, maybe I just go here. I surround. You're dead. Like it's just dead at this point. For what? One stone?
Yeah, I have no idea what I was thinking at this point.
I think the game kind of just fell off a cliff at this point because it looks like you just lost track of the weak group and now all of your moves don't make sense.
Yeah,
It looks like you're trying to attack. Like I don't know how. This is why some games just don't make sense to me. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. Everyone's fighting over nothing. I'm like, just ignore everything and play the urgent stuff. Just who cares about that, right? I don't even care. Like maybe I don't even care. I don't even know if I'd care about that. Maybe I would fix the cut, but other than that, maybe I'd just go play a big move. Why would I care about the points down there? I'm looking at I'm looking at urgent weak groups and then the largest framework. This is not important to me. But then black ends up getting cut off and gets a weak group, so it all ends up working out for you. So I don't understand how these things happen. And now black is dying. In this case, I think you
this is
could
what
just kill.
reinforces my behavior.
I think you just kill black. I mean, that's if you kill the cutting stones, it's better. Um, oh man. Okay, so now we're back to defense, I guess. But now the A group is weak again. The entire situation just completely changed. I don't understand how that happened, but okay. Now we're back to making sense, which is defense first. Okay, connects. Don't care. Capture the cutting stones would be good, but does this actually connect you? If it doesn't, this is Ajikeshi. Does this accomplish your goal of defense? Connecting to a base is defense. Running away is defense. Let's look at the solution. Oh my gosh, never mind. If he goes right here, um,
Yeah,
that exchange did not help you. So this is Ajikeshi. Make sense?
yep.
Okay. I think if you wanted a connection, it would actually be poke this knight and then poke that knight. And then by
Okay, yep, that makes
off the
sense.
cutting stones, you can connect by killing the cutting stones. If you can't see that, that's fine. Then you should just play jump. That's basics. Okay. Okay. So in conclusion, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. So my first note is groups are stoner stones that are more than 7 stones or represent an area. The exception to this is cutting stones. Okay, that's a group. Defense first. Okay. If a group does not have a base near your opponent and or is behind, or let's just say, and behind or on the line of influence, aka can be attacked for profit, then play defense. Defense using your opponent's weakness to help yourself is good, but killing Aji when it doesn't help your goal is very bad. I think it's a lot for defense. Um, What is there any other major points that I pointed out that you can recall? Oh, I know. You need to work on connection to Suji Go problems. Okay. Do you have the
Yeah.
spreadsheet for the Go problems
Um,
that we have? The one-on-one Witchy?
no, I don't have that
All right.
spreadsheet
Let
or
me
any materials.
boop 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 boop. Okay, let me send you that. There's the spreadsheet. Go over connections and cuts.
Great. I will
Um,
do that. And also, what time settings would you recommend for a live game?
10 to 20 minutes main time, 30 seconds 5 times. I would say starting
Okay.
out 20 minutes and take your time. When you get faster with the basics, you can lower that to 10 minutes to gain experience over basics. But right now, while you're slow with the basics, I would just start with 20 minutes. Take your time and really go through the questions until you speed up the questions. Make sense?
Great.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep. I think since I'm over, yep.
All right. So let me send you these notes. Do you have any questions?
No, I've got like 4 or 5 main points to work on. And especially helpful are the concrete definitions, like being behind the definition, evaluating weak groups
Mhm.
and even defining groups are things that will help a lot over the next week, I think.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, right now I would just say focus on understanding the middle game better. Understanding how you determine if something like how you understand what you should be doing, what is weak, what is not weak, what is a big move, what is not a big move, and then from there, once you can understand that what you should be doing, then it's just a matter of understanding did my move do the job. And that's
Hmm.
what you do with game reviews, right? It did my move do the job? And then as you start getting better at that, you start asking yourself, okay, is this the best way to do the job? Is there other options to do the job? And then you just get more and more and more and more and more. So yeah, I would say you struggle with connection to Suji's a little bit. I really want to see. I'm actually gonna put that in there. Only played core. Going to get a rank before next lesson, right? So I want you to play. I think it takes OGS maybe 15 to 20 games, but I don't know. Let's just see where you end up. Like you might have some single digit Q tendencies, you might have some double digit Q tendencies. I really want to identify the weakest part of your game, and then work on that, and then bring everything to the same level, and then just add on one thing at a time. That's usually what I try to do with my students. Is like you might have some parts of your game that are single digit Q, you might have some parts that are double digit Q. I want to identify all the weakest parts and make sure everything's consistently single digit Q, and then it's just a matter of adding on new tactics. And then
Yeah, I wish I could reset my rank on OGS.
that is smooth sailing to Dawn is having consistent basics and just adding on one thing at a time, and then making sure you don't develop any bad habits while you're learning a new thing. That's a big thing. So I think you have some good stuff going for you, especially since you've read books and you've watched the Classy Books and stuff. But I think there's a couple double digit Q tendencies. Um, like for example, your Joseki choice here, this high move here. Those are kind of double digit Q. Also, not knowing this one. But your single digit Q stuff, you have some single digit Q fighting and some weird fighting as well. It's like a hit or miss with the fighting right now. So yeah, we need to make everything consistent. So we're just gonna work on one thing at a time and smooth out your game. And then once everything's consistently the same level, then we can work on adding new tactics and getting you down to like 3Q to 1 Don. Make sense?
All right. Well,
All
thanks
right.
a lot.
All right. So yeah,
Good.
hopefully you found that helpful, and I will see you when I see you.
All right.
All right. So that is it for the game review or the lesson portion of the stream. So now I do have these supporter reviews. So let's see if anyone is in the queue. Stream chats. All right. I don't think anyone's actually in the queue. All right. Hello, Fasifu. It's a new channel, so I can stream to YouTube in addition to Twitch, because the other one was affiliate. This one is not affiliate, and in the affiliate agreement, I am not allowed to multi-stream. and I wanted to multi-stream to YouTube because my target audience of double-digit Qs is more prominent on YouTube than on Twitch. So it made more sense for me to try to hit my target audience more because I need to reach more double-digit Qs. So yeah, that's the reason for the new channel. Hey, winning's good. Winning's good. All right. Fossey, you are up first. Okay. I'm actually going to Nice. So I'm gonna take a quick break while Fossey finds a game and go to the restroom real quick, and then I'll be right back, and we'll start with Fossey's game review. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so you won in the end, but it was more due to a major blunder by your opponent. You were bleeding points like mad in the middle game, and it was still a very common thing with all of my games. I think I'm missing another puzzle piece after the Moyo building. All right. So yeah, let's look at that. I actually want to focus on that point where you had the lead and you kind of lost it. I think it was around this area. Okay. So you have the largest framework. Is there any weak groups? No. Like, this is free though. You should get this exchange right here. This is just definitely Sente. So you have the largest framework. White has the left side. Some weird stuff happened over here. You have a cutting point right here, but this Moyo is really large. So, okay, so you built the largest framework. That's fine. They went in. You cut. Perfect. They did a 2-space. So you're weak and they're weak. So you want to run away while cutting them off. Knight's moves are cuttable, so be careful with something like this. Maybe something like this would be a little bit more solid. I think that would be a little bit more solid. Okay. Similar, but okay. And of course you want to maybe like right here. Yep. Check the knight move, but you have connections. That's not important. We ignored that for this Moyo. So all we need to do is just connect right here. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, 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 no. Okay, if we, you have to notice this cut. You have to notice a cutting point. Okay. Um, you have a cutting point, right? You gotta fix it. Now, if you say the Moyo is more valuable than that corner, that's an argument that you can make, but you can't not see the cutting point. And I think you didn't see the cutting point because as soon as this big fight, which is super urgent, happened, you tried to save the corner. So this is inconsistent. Like I want to see like this, like this. Like that looks so much better. And then White's dying in the center. Because you weren't worried about the corner because you ignored it for this giant Moyo. It's consistent play. So if you were worried about the corner, you shouldn't have tried to go for the Moyo. You should have played defense first. That's not a living shape. But White does have to play here, so you have time to live. But locally, this is not alive. It looks like you need life and death. That's not alive. You ignored it and it's not alive. Like this is just dead. So life and death definitely would help. Have you been coming to the classes? Yeah, the classes are free on Discord. Make sure you watch the classes. I'll link that to you actually. Because we've been talking about like 3-3 life and death, and this is like one of the maybe one of the shapes. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Come on. Videos. Yeah, classy class reading the 3-3. You have it open. Okay, there's that, and I'll link it on YouTube as well. Yep, 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 yep. All right. Yeah. Your life and death needs work because this is not okay. This entire corner is actually really bad for you. So now instead of it being your Moyo, now you're getting attacked by the weak group in your Moyo. That is not okay. And now you're playing defense. No, you need to be playing offense. You need to be checking his cutting points, and everything else. You need to be like unsettling this thing, cutting it off, and attacking it. This is your Moyo. So I think you just didn't understand this area. Cutting, that's a knight's move. This is a knight's move. This is your Moyo. And he just played a knight's move. You cut that crap. Yeah, you're not being aggressive with your Moyo. And you're not being consistent on playing on the Moyo. This is better than this. Because this one threatens the cutting point. But if white's alive, if white's perfectly okay, I think you lack confidence in your attacking. There's a knight's move right here. Are you aware of that? Like, there's a cutting point like right there. There's a cutting point right here. And there's a cutting point right here. I think you have a problem. I like that you're prioritizing this cut over this cut, but you still have like this major cut right here. Like rather than like defending like this, we're single digit Q. We can't just do double digit Q simple stuff. Let's live like the whole point of this cut. The reason this cut's bad is because we will be unsettled from a base. Well, let's just make a base. Ta-da! Now this cut doesn't matter. Well, this one matters because right here, but now it doesn't matter if we get cut off from the bottom. You started playing Go in April, watching the stream for the first time to learn a bit. Is there a way you could explain the game? No. So anytime I say a term, feel free to ask what the term means. Moyo is large framework. But I do recommend the Classy Approach series. We've been recording it on stream for beginners. So actually, I can just go to clausius.live/videos. Okay. So we have the How to Play Go series, the beginner lecture series, which talks about how to introduces the 19x19 to beginners, and then we have the Classy Approach series, which is basically strategy for players who have just learned the rules of the game, and it goes from 25Q and now we're up to 15Q. So the Classy Approach series is actually what we've been recording for introducing new players to strategy. So I think that will answer a lot of your questions and give you a lot of direction. So the How to Play Go, if you don't know the rules, the Classy Approach series, you can just start with. And then between 20Q and 19Q, I say to watch the beginner lecture series to just understand the 19x19. That's on here as well. And then I have the How to Count Territory, the Joseki lecture for beginners, the Strygos lecture, and beginner Go problems. Like that page pretty much has a lot of information for you to start out. So if you're confused by any of the basics, that page has a ton of material for beginners. So hopefully that'll give you some direction. But yeah, it just depends on where you are at for which video you should watch. But if you just want to start from the beginning, learn the rules, How to Play Go. If you want to start from the beginning and just learn strategy, beginner lecture series. Yep. So yeah, hopefully that'll give you something to start with. I need to drink water, not tea. Okay, so yeah. First thing I notice, you're playing defense with the Moyo. It's not good. Second thing I notice, you are playing good defense with these cutting points. Like that's good defense. Except it's not good enough at 7Q. It's fine until single digit Q, but now we need to add on defense through our opponent's weaknesses. Like for example, making life here, that's several points. Here is 0 points. Which one's worth more? Right? Live in the one that's worth more. Give yourself options. Yes, I can connect, but I can also make some eye space. Which one's worth more territory? Like which one hurts your opponent more, helps you, gives you more value? They're both defense, so you're not telling you to ignore defense. Defense first, of course. Just do it with more value. So those are the two big things that I'm seeing so far. What? Who does that move? Now we see the cut. Good, but jump through the knight is usually more powerful than pushing through the knight. So jump through should be your first consideration. That is fine. Doesn't really help this at all. Like, it doesn't help this cutting point, but okay. Okay, yeah, connect is obviously big. All right, so now white lived and you lost a lot of points. So now you are in Yosei. Yeah, it's too late. Oh, cut. It's too late to attack now. Cut, 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 cut. There's a cut. It's not alive. There's a cut. There's a cutting point. Why are we not cutting things that are not alive? There's a cut. At 50 moves, oh dear goodness. It's so not alive. You even reduced the ice face. Oh, it's so big. Okay, this is not an invasion point. Maybe here. Because you need like Miai to invade. Something this tight, you need like Miai. Maybe here. Right here. Something that threatens a connection while also threatening ice space. This one's a little hard to live with. Maybe possible though. I definitely think you should be trying something. Ooh. Ah, you have a cutting point. Because that was a way in right there. Boom. Gone. Problem is you die. So that Knight's move, man. You gotta fix your cutting points. You are struggling so much with cutting points. I'm sorry. This won't be. It's so loud. That's cuttable. That's cuttable. You have to go right here. Now it's you capture the cutting stone. What if I go here? Now this cut activates and you're cut off. Yeah, you're struggling really hard with cutting points. I don't know. That's like the most important thing to work on. And then you just win. Uh, just reduce the ice face. Just reduce the ice face. Just reduce the ice face. Reduce. Just reduce. Maybe some of it lives. But reduce the ice space should be your first thing. Because cutting points is dangerous. You need to be so careful with this stuff. My mouse is going weird. What the heck? My mouse is like all over the place. Okay, no. Don't kill the tail when you can kill the entire dragon. Why kill the tail? Why am I saying kill like that? Why kill the tail when you can kill the dragon? Yeah. Are you doing go problems? Because there are two problems in this game. Your life and death and your cutting points. Both of which are supposed to be solved by practice and go problems. Dragon is a string of stones that have very little points, if not 0 points. At least 2 a day. You need like 100 go problems a day. You need about 100 go problems a day. Like 50 to 100 go problems a day. That take you about 30 seconds each. Yeah, you need like 100 go problems a day, but you need to do problems that take you about 30 seconds to solve. If you can't solve it within a minute, just look at the answer and then repeat the category the next day or the next week or whatever. And do the category over and over and over until you can solve all the problems or like 90% of the problems in 30 seconds. But yeah, you're supposed to do 100 go problems a day. It's about an hour a day. But yeah, your life and death, like, just look at this. The A group is still not alive, and like no one's playing on it. White can kill it, and black can live. No one is playing on it. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we not playing on it? And then you just ignores? Don't you need eyes? Like this is game over if this is dead. I showed that. White just goes right here. and black's dead. Reduce the eye space first. If reducing the eye space works, that's better. This is habits, okay? This you win. This you win. One of them is a good habit, one of them is a bad habit. Good habits will help you in the future. Reduce the eye space first. It's stronger, it's more solid, it's less chances for mistakes, less co-threats. Good habits. Don't die in Gote. Oh no. Is it Blitz? Is this like, what are the time settings on this? Result timeout. Oh, this is correspondence. Ugh. That's why it's so weird. It's correspondence. This move makes no sense. It's like I have no idea what's going on. That's what this move is. Yeah, so go problems. I really think that's what you need. Life and death, cutting points. You are drastically messing those two things up in this specific game. I don't know how you're doing any other games, right? Those two things though. Work on those, and I think you're good. And hopefully you find that helpful. All right, the queue is empty, so I can do Q&A. Or I can do a teaching game with a supporter. If we have no one in the go problems or one-on-one with you. How do you make time count in a live game? You go in the turn on the display capture. Go and click on the hamburger. Go to your settings, sound preferences, not providing game voice, clock countdown. Count every 10 seconds. Right here. Right here. Oh, time to count points. Time to count points. You just do it. Okay, so you should always be counting points after like okay. It takes me about 40 or 50 seconds, mostly because I have to recount the first color every single time. So I'll be like, I'll count black, then I'll count white, and then I have to recount black because I forget the number. I don't know why. I do that every time, every single time. I don't know why, but I always forget the first number that I count. So it takes me like 40 to 50 seconds to count the board. No, someone taught me the subtraction method, and a pro told me that that's bad because it actually messes up the high level counting. Which I have a counting video, which is on the website. Am I back? Am I back? Okay, on the website, there is a how to count video in the video section. Okay, well, I'm going to answer your question. I'm just going to answer it in depth. Okay, so first you need to learn how to count. Okay, so first you count black, then you count white. Or black, white, it doesn't matter, whatever. You just count one color, you count the other color. Okay? And you need to know what is territory, what is not territory. And then you need to add on potential and everything else, and that will determine who's winning, who's losing. Okay? Then you need to be able to get to the point where you can do that in like 40 to 50 seconds. When you are counting, ideally, starting out, you should count after every exchange. And you should count. When you're in overtime, sacrifice one period, count the board. That way you know what's happening, you finish up the middle game, and you go into Yosei. Don't count in Yosei. You should not be counting territory in Yosei. Instead, you should be counting the value of Yosei moves. You should know if you're winning or losing before Yosei. But once Yosei starts, it's no longer about counting the difference in territory. It's about counting the difference in the Yosei moves and identifying the biggest Yosei moves, which again, you can sacrifice a period to do. You should never accidentally lose a period. Yosei is endgame. You should never accidentally lose an overtime period. You should always lose it intentionally. And the times that I lose it is when I want to count the position, when I want to count the board, know what's happening, when I want to count the Yosei, when I'm caught by surprise and I need to reformulate my entire strategy because I got caught off guard, when there's a life and death problem. These are cues for me to sacrifice a period, but don't lose it accidentally. That's very bad. Okay. Now there are tricks to counting faster, and there's the reason that the doing subtraction is bad, according to what I've been told, what I think I know, which is not a lot, but I know something, I guess. The idea is you don't count the entire board, you count the sections. Okay, boop boop boop, that section, boop boop boop. Then you count that section, boop boop boop. Then you count that section. Okay, then you add them up. You just remember the numbers, you add them up. Then the next variation that comes apart, like let's say you like this area changes. Okay, you recount this area, and you don't have to recount these two. You just remember the numbers and you add them all together. That is some tricks to count very, very quickly. It's also why subtraction doesn't work. Like, you're supposed to do that and just remember numbers. Now, the way to remember numbers is to do this several times a game. You will build the habit of remembering numbers and doing addition. It's like math, right? When you do math homework, what do? You do a bunch of exercises for that formula or for that problem type or for addition and subtraction or whatever, and you get much, much better at it the more you do it. Okay? It's the same with counting. The more you do it, the more you separate these into different categories, the more counting you do, the faster you will be and the more accurate you will be about counting. Then you can take it to another level, which is counting knowing the score of the game and then comparing variations, like reading out one variation compared to another variation and counting the score difference between the two and saying which one is the best exchange rate of points and counting the score of the future. It's like reading Ataris in the future. Like at 20Q, you read Ataris. At single digit Q, you read Ataris and cuts and liberties like 5-6 moves down the road. Well, it's the same idea. At like single digit Q, you learn to count. And then at like dawn level, you're supposed to, or like 2Q plus, I think, you're supposed to start counting variations. Supposed to start counting the difference in the variation. Um, I've been doing lectures about like that's the struggle to visualize stuff, right? I've been doing lectures about that and how important it is and stuff. But I also talked about how it's not something you can just gain in a week. Like like some people are more talented at visualizing stones than others, especially kids, right? Kids have a much better imagination than adults, which thankfully I learned this more when I was younger than when I was older. Um, but it's not something you learn in a few weeks. It actually takes months and sometimes years to learn stone visualization. So it's very interesting. So if you struggle, mm, I would say um, to identify if you have what you have or not. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand it's a medical condition, but I know a few other people have also said that they think they have that too, and I'm not convinced that the amount of people that say they have it have it. I would say if you can do that mind palace trick where you can close your eyes and remember a bedroom, like remember your bed, picture your bedroom at home. If you can close your eyes and remember your bedroom and say, okay, where's my blanket? Okay, where's my TV? And if you can do that, you can visualize stones the go board with enough time and practice. If you can't do that, then yeah, then you probably have the medical condition. I would say Fasifu, if you wanna develop a trick, like I said, I don't have a solution for that because I don't have that condition. Like I don't have that condition. But if I were you and I wanted to learn how to read better and stuff, um, then I would try to play blind go, and you're not going to be able to do it at first. It's just if you can't imagine stuff, it's just not going to be possible for you. And then ideally, what you would do is find tricks or habits or some sort of technique, mental technique that works for you because I don't know what to do. I've never had this problem. Okay. But if you can play blind go, you can read and go. Because it's literally no different. And if you want to play blind go, I found this actually helps me play blind go. Take off all the stones on the board and just look at an empty board and play blind go with yourself. If you can do that and play an entire game, you can read perfectly. Now, ideally, you would test this by having someone else play it on the computer and tell you the coordinates while you look at an empty board and play it in your mind. But if you can find something that works for you, Blanco is hard, but it's also like if you can't read, then you need to find a way to hack your brain to get it to read. So that way, because reading is important in Go. It's hard to get into the mid to high Dawn ranks without reading. You can get to Dawn with very basic level reading, like very very simple reading. You can get to Dawn level. So my advice to you would be figure out a method for you to play blind Go. I mean, yeah, it's not supposed to be easy. Like if it was easy, then I wouldn't tell you to do it. If it was easy, then you wouldn't have the disorder, right? I would consider it like mental physical therapy. If it was easy, then you wouldn't have to go through the physical therapy, right? Um, but if you can do it, I think it would be a really cool skill for you to have. And this actually might help you in other aspects of your life. If you can find something that works for you, maybe talk with your doctor and stuff, like an exercise or a mental hack or a mental trick that works for you, there you go. And then maybe you can actually help others in the future when they struggle with it, right? Um, like I said, I don't know what the answer or what the trick would be for you. You literally have to invent it yourself. Yeah, you will literally have to invent this technique yourself. But if you can, and if you do it, it'd be super cool. Um, no, I'll tell you this right now. I have learned through teaching, especially in recent in this month at least. You say you can't visualize stones. Well, guess what? Almost everyone in chat can't either. Like the most I think people can visualize out of most of my students is like three moves, like three stones on the board accurately, and see liberties and see cuts and everything else. I think the most they can visualize is three. So don't feel bad, Fossy Foo. Like even if you can't visualize it, I don't think anyone else can. It's just they should be able to visualize it. They're not doing it. Actually, I think it's like four stones is one done. If you can visualize four moves and the correct sequence, you are one done. I believe that was what I was told. Many years ago. Visualizing four stones perfectly and the correct direction of play and the correct moves, four moves is one done. All right. Was I reviewing a game? I was answering questions and I actually forgot if I was reviewing a game or not. I think I wasn't. Okay. So I answered the counting question, and then we talked a lot about stone visualization. Any other questions or game reviews? I don't think anyone's in the queue. So any supporters? I don't think anyone's in the queue. Actually, since a lot of people are not joining the queue recently, I'm wondering if I can add on. If I can add on more stuff during this time, like Q and A's, maybe teaching names or something with, or whatever, until more people start joining the queue. Because I do want to encourage people to become supporters and join the queue. Um, yeah. Anyone want a teaching game? Because we have time. We have quite a bit of time. If you want to join the queue's in Discord. If you want to join the queue and get a review. Yeah, it's in the stream chat and the online Go Club. I would like to build the habit of using the queues. That way everyone knows where it is in the future. Oh, I gotta play. Somebody. For the Classy League. I think it's a Illumi, the Chinese name. I think it's a Iluk or Illumi. Iluk. I gotta play the Classy League. I gotta play my game. Positive is positive is 5 Dawn. I think 5 Dawn or 6 Dawn on Fox. But I'm not gonna do handicap in the Dawn division, so it doesn't matter. Cause I want the Dawn division to be open. Teach you something cool that you are learning about. Well, recently I've been learning how to teach you guys better. And recently, the thing I've learned that has shocked me the most is the stone visualization, or lack thereof. So, I can talk about like how I developed that. I mean, I spent 2 years just reading ladders. Um, so demo board. Okay, so like for example, let's place a ladder right here. Okay, this goes do 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 do. All right, and then I will place a let's put a white stone right here. Put that right there and there. So do 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 do. No, not quite there. Boop boop doot 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 doot. Hold on. Doot. Put black black, white white, black. Nope, I'm one off. Okay. White, black. And now just do this. Let's see if I can draw a heart. Okay, so this creates a net. So not quite the shape that I want. I want it to turn. Okay. Doot 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 doot. So doot 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 doot. I'm just creating a heart from scratch, right? I'm just creating a shape. That's all I'm doing. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at creating ladder problems. I'm just visualizing it over and over until I can turn it. I can't do it. I can't make it turn. I don't know the shape to make it turn. But what I can do is like visualize the answer and he just captures you here. Like if we played out. Boop 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 boop. Boop 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 boop. See? I can visualize that. And I just set it up and I just play with it, right? Just have fun playing with the ladder shapes and stuff, and you can work on visualization. Like, visualization is so important. You just got to be able to visualize stones. Um, the apartment. I am not in an apartment. I am in a tiny house kind of setup. We own our house and own our land, so that is the big difference. Yeah, tiny. It's very small, but it's basically imagine like you're buying a house and you only can live and use the rooms that you've bought thus far. Yeah. Yeah, we made a specific choice to not get an apartment though because we didn't want rent. So we don't really have rent. We just buy the sections of the house that we want when we want it. So that is coming along more or less. It's about to slow down when winter comes along again, because progress goes really slow in the winter. Yeah, we just insulated. We have full insulation on both buildings. Yeah, we do have chairs. Um, it's going good. It's going good. This is not the tiny house though. This is my mom's store, and I moved my office here to help her run the store in the mornings and then do my work in the evenings. So this is like the back of a store in a mall, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. So where I am right now is actually not in my house. I'm at a mall. I'm in the back room of a mall. Yeah, but it's going good. It's going good. Anyone want a teaching game? Let's see. Yeah, it looked better. It looked better until I got this background. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm debating if I need a backdrop or not, but I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It should be fine because that's just more things that I have to walk around. All right. All right. I can play Gator. Inshallah. Yep. More SDK content. See, the real trick. Yeah, the real trick for me is that that maybe I should be thinking about is instead of trying to figure out how to reach more double digit queues, I should maybe be figuring out how to make more sales at single digit queue and how to make money from non players because I have an audience. It's just the I don't make a lot of sales. So I got to figure out how can I make sales from Dawn players and single digit queue players. That's the real questions. Because I made a video about it. So I let me walk you guys through this. Let's see. My Google Drive. I'll go to my old waiting list.
Game started.
Okay, have a good game. Okay. You want to hear my waiting list? Here's my waiting list. Okay, this is the old waiting list. There's no one on the waiting list right now. Here it is. Ready? DDK, 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 SDK, DDK, DDK, SDK, DDK, 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 SDK, DDK, 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 SDK, DDK, 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 SDK. You see my sales? That's my sales right there. That's my big sales. So that's why I'm trying to reach more double digit queues. I need to reach more double digit queues. Like, I love teaching single digit queues too. It's just not nearly as profitable when you're trying to make a living. All right. I think that's good enough. So let's just go big move. And then what's gonna really suck is when all of you guys are Dawn. Like, why would you guys subscribe to me when you're Dawn? Why would you give me money if you're stronger than me? I'm literally killing my own customers. Yeah, so the way I'm mostly being sarcastic. The way my monetization strategy works is I constantly have to reach new people and new players and make sales. Because if I'm good at my job, I will literally I will literally make my customers too strong to be customers. So if I'm good at my job, I will literally lose my customers. Oh, actually, don't forget, guys. Are you guys on the calendar? Do you guys know what tomorrow is? Do you guys know tomorrow is the Klossy Simul? So tomorrow is the Simul for the supporter reviews, or for the supporters. So if you're a supporter, there's a Simul tomorrow. Wait. Is today not Friday? Or Thursday? Today's Thursday. So yeah, so I have to play my league game, but I also have to play Simuls tomorrow. That is at 1 p.m. my time. Yep, 1 p.m. my time. Oh, is my noise gate must be censoring the stone click sound because I have stone click sound, but I guess my noise gate on my microphone is censoring it. An invasion in N3 reasonable. It's reasonable but unnecessary. Like there's much easier moves than N3. It's you can do it, but like there's much easier moves. So why would I choose a hard one? I'll live. I don't care. I had Miai for life, so I didn't really have to respond, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. Largest framework is mine, not his. Black should have played C6. It's more than just playing over here. Oh boy, oh boy. Cut. Of course, keep him cut. He cannot connect so easily. Will not let that happen. Super important to keep him cut. Block. Mrs. is doing well. Um, Mrs. is doing well. Currently, we're in a little bit of a dilemma with each other, just because we have differences of opinions on life goals. Um, but overall, we're doing quite well. It's just a matter of like talking and stuff and figuring things out. We're just trying to like balance being two different people with both of us want to still like do certain types of lifestyles. That is not Sentai. Because remember this move right here? My life goals is three things. Family first. I want to be with my family as much as I can. Like that's why I came back from Korea is because I missed my family. So number one for me is family. Number two is make a living so we can all survive. Because we need to like eat. I want to be able to also make enough money that I can take them to the park, to a theme park. I can maybe take them to Disney World every few years. make enough money to be comfortable, to have a house, and go out and enjoy life. And three, I mean, I want to work on my career. Like I love Go. I love teaching Go. I want to go to Go tournaments. Like pursue my interest. Those are my three goals. Hers are similar but different. So for her, she has the more American stereotypical dream, which is get a promotion, become general manager and stuff, and make enough that she can provide for her family. And the conflict is that is the normal thing that you want, but I don't want that. like, uh, because for me, this is my personal life choice. This is not life advice for you guys. For me, I don't want to work to provide for the family if I'm not there with the family. I'd rather be poor. I'd rather not make money because it stresses me out. Like if we're talking about having a kid, right? And one of the things I asked her is like, do you're going to give birth to a child? Do you want to not be home for 40 hours a week and away from that child when that child is growing up? I am self-employed. This is my job. Like this teaching Go is my job, and I can literally have my wife or kid in the other room. I can do this, and as soon as I'm done, I can go be with them again. And this is my dream. Like I'm living my dream, and that I'm happy with it. The question is that the difficulty is I'm wondering what my wife wants to do. And she wants to provide for her family, and that's a respectable thing, right? But it technically conflicts with what I want, which is I want to be with my family. But if she's gone at work all the time, yeah, me and the kids can spend the money, pay the bills, and eat out and go have fun, but she's never there. And that stresses me out. And I think there needs to be a balance. And finding that balance is very difficult. And so we're having very philosophical debates. We're not arguing in the sense of we're mad at each other. We're not mad at each other. We're just, yeah, we're trying to figure out how to balance what each other wants and how to balance our life and what do we want our life to look like, I guess. It's quite deep, but also like can be a little bit stressful and can easily turn into an argument if you're not careful. Like we have to be very careful to respect the other's opinions and still talk about it because it can be very stressful. But no, I love what I do. I'm a little upset that I don't make as much as I want to make because what I want to make is enough that she doesn't have to work at all, and then she can do whatever she wants. I mean, I guess it maybe call that guy instinct or something. Um, uh, I don't want her to have to work. Like, I just want her to be home and go. Like, if she wants to go volunteer somewhere, or if she wants to go on a trip, or if she wants to like pursue a hobby, I want her to have the freedom to do that. I don't actually. I want to make enough that she doesn't have to worry about it. And unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, we do need two adults' income right now. And like I can't quit and she can't quit. It really it really sucks because I wish I made more. But here's the problem. I had the option to make more and I turned it down to do this because I love doing this because this is my dream. But I could have made enough that she doesn't have to work and she could follow her dream, but then I would be stressed. Um, I'm trying to convince her to do something to work from home, and she said she would love to work from home, but she doesn't have the time to build the skills to work from home. because she's working full time. But you can't quit working full time because then we wouldn't make enough to pay all of our bills. So it's that's the problem. That now you're caught up to the conversations that we are having. um what did I do before Go? I did a cell phone repair. Before that, I was employed in a big city. Um, I was doing data entry and working full time with benefits and everything. It was like the ideal job that I could have had following the normal conventional standards. It was perfect. I had a nice boss. The coworkers were nice. We had I had paid time off. I had benefits. It was everything you could possibly want from a normal job. And I hated it. I had several panic attacks because I was like, this is not the life that I want to live. Like I have achieved everything that I wanted that you think you want. And I was like, this is not this is stressing me out. This isn't me. This isn't for me. Just reduce. It's fine, I guess. It wasn't what I wanted. And it's like, and then I started hating myself for it too. It got really bad. This is back in 2018. I really started hating myself for it because I'm like, I'm gonna make my wife have a job. I can't support my family. Blah blah blah. I was really stressed, but I made the decision to try to live the life that I wanted, and I did cell phone repairs and built this. And I'm very, very happy that I did that because I'm much happier now than I was back then. But part of me worries that my wife pays for it, and that stresses me out too. Uh, but she also, I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult because if I was single, I would be fine. I wouldn't be stressed about any of this. Like this is everything that I want. I have. But being married and having a kid, then you're just like, okay, maybe like I need to do a little bit more. I need a little bit more. Um, so we're just, you know, we're well off. We're pretty happy. We're paying our bills. We have spending money. Um, we're good. It's just we're not sure where we want to take our future direction. We don't know where our future direction should be. We're just that's where we are right now. I would love to make enough that she could choose whatever she wanted to. Um, and technically I don't. And I wish I could. Like if there was something I could do, just like double my students, I would do it. Like if I could just double my students, I would just do it. But I can't. So that's a problem. That's a thing. Um, and then it's like even if I could double it for 1 month, then I would only be good for 1 month. I got to double it like forever. So it's just a lot. It's just, living life, doing the best you can with what you have. But I am trying to convince her to develop a skill to work from home or something. Um, and she doesn't really have time to. I've done that, Ellis. The problem with other streamers in the Go community is almost all of the Twitch viewers are single digit queue, and I make more sales with double digit queue. So I was doing cross streams with chess players to create new Go players, and had a little bit of success with that. Um, but I've done a lot of stuff. If there was a big thing that I think would change the amount of money I was making, it would be to double or triple my time investment into what I'm doing. I could stream more, I could reach more people, I could collab more. Um, I would just put in more. But one, that would defy my first priority, which is being with my family, which is my highest priority. I would lose more time spending with the wife. I would have less time to manage my household, like cleaning and taking out the trash and building it. Um, so it's a very difficult balance. So to clarify what I do, I'm not a professional streamer. Okay, that's not what I am. If I was a professional streamer, I would stream more and I would just make more money from subs and stuff. I am a professional Go instructor, which means I make my money from teaching Go. In other words, giving lessons and doing game reviews. That is a very important distinction because you have to realize how to raise more sales. First, you have to understand what you're selling. I do not sell entertainment on Twitch because I don't make subs and donations and bits that make a living. What I sell is lessons. So Twitch is advertising. And understanding that is quite important. Oh, so that's not an I. Yeah. Um, I have two goals with my job. Now, when it comes to my job, I have two goals with it. Number one is to help the community and to help you guys get stronger at Go. Like that's my number one priority. Number two is to make a living, which is why I have so much free content. And I've actually gotten a lot of people have told me to stop giving free content. A lot of people have told me to stop giving free content. My local Go club is too strong for lessons, unfortunately. I've considered like making a new Go club and teaching new people, but I don't think I would make money doing that. I think I would make more Go players, which would be great, but I don't think I'd make money. I think I would lose money. Um, I've looked into SEO and stuff like that. I don't understand it very well. I'm not very good at marketing. Um, I think I need to figure out because I think my strategy earlier this year was good, but I think the market's changed in the last 6 months, and I'm trying to identify how it's changed. And what I mean by that is I think new players. Oh, thank you for the host, Czar. I think people are learning Go slightly, or learning about what Go is and learning how to play Go in a slightly different manner than they were 6 months ago. Or less people are learning Go because COVID is slowly starting to die down and they're going back to jobs and stuff. So it's less new players, so less students and less stuff.
优优米，现
Um,
在开
that's
始
my
读秒。
that's my current theory right now. But I'm trying to keep up with the market research. I'm trying to follow the trends, follow where the new players are, and making content for those new people. But yeah, the market's changed in the last 6 months slightly, and I have to keep up with that. It's very important that I keep up with that.
You have won.
All right, thank you for the game. Let's review this game. All right, all right. The only other hello, Devin. The only other instructor that makes a living is either professional players or Bats. Like Bats is the only other one that teaches and makes a living with Go. Um if you're not a professional player, I think there's like less than 5 that I know of that actually make a living teaching Go. You don't understand how insanely difficult making a living at Go is. Okay, so for this review, or focusing on the review now, Insong's great. Insong is highly successful. But Insong's as strong as a pro, so I count him as a pro. This is a little bit passive, I think. But okay. You made a base. This one is very strange. This is not the open side, the right side is. And also, you wouldn't approach it one space away because you can just get attacked. Now, I'm not going to attack you right now, but in the future, like, this is going to be attackable. And I did attack it in the future. So I just played the big move. This is right direction play. Then I just chose Joseki. The Joseki is here. That's Joseki. Yeah, this is not Joseki. This was fine, but this is a Sentei. This is for Sentei. So you're supposed to like go back here and defend. Yeah. This is not following Joseki. So I would say there's this is a very minor mistake. So there's a Joseki mistake and here's a Joseki mistake. You picked a Joseki for Sentei and then you didn't take Sentei. If you wanted Gote, just go for the points. Just go for the points if you want Gote. Yeah, but this is Gote. So I attack the stone. You have the large framework. So I'm going to play on the large framework and I'm going to use your weakness to play on that framework. So I capped. I could have also invaded, but I saw that I had this move and this is a 2-space jump. So if I get a stone on both sides, you're supposed to jump. This move is Joseki. But you have a weakness. Why would you want to play Gote here? Dude. What the heck? Oh my gosh. What the fudge? Load faster. What? Okay, there we go. Okay, Tanuki, at least in the early opening, is a good choice. Okay. A is complicated but very common. B, building the wall, is simple. C extends from the wall, making B a more important point from both sides. So yeah, B is like the third option here. But Tanuki's like the most common. And then there's A. B is not very common, I don't think. I suppose locally you can do it. But on this board, you had something more urgent. You had like some weakness right here. So just play defense. Yeah, no, your wall's not facing the upper right. The wall's not facing the upper right. It's facing the left. Like, it's going that way. So, defense. So I used your weakness to reduce. You completely ignored down here, which is a mistake. You're supposed to play defense first. If you're worried about the ladder, it's nothing. I'm not gonna run there. There's no cut for you. So this was big. This was an interesting idea. I don't know if it was good, but you kind of have to block. Otherwise, there's no value here. Until you get this block, there's nothing here because open skirt means there's no territory. So there's no value here until you block. This locally is the correct sequence, but globally speaking, the timing is very strange. Like this cut doesn't work. That's not a cut. You need to block, and then you need to play over here. The timing of this was like the right side's not important. It's the least important side. Even the top side's bigger. The right side's not important. And this cut just doesn't work. So I played mine because you have a big framework, but I have a big framework, and mine is bigger. So I went for it. You chose to invade here and start a fight. This is possible. It's not really basic because basics would be to jump right here and then invade somehow. But I think if you keep like you're so far behind at this point that maybe starting a fight isn't a terrible idea, but it's not very basic. So I just cut and stayed strong. Made you weak. Co is a bad idea here. You like starting a co with A when you have a weak group at B just means every single attack is going to be a co thread. So this is you cannot afford a co. You cannot start a co when I have a million co threads. Like you can call this a co farm. Like this is a co farm. If I have a co farm, you cannot start a co. I think instead of that, maybe just go here for life. If you want quick life. But a co farm, there's no way that that's going to work for you. And this is not a co threat. Like this doesn't threaten to kill me in any way. Yeah, it's just not a threat. Okay, and then I capped, so now I get to like at this point it's probably game over because there's no way I'm going to lose control of this side, and then I just have way too many points. So at this point it's probably game over. So I think the two Joseki mistakes. Well, okay, this one's maybe not a mistake. Just if it's wrong Joseki choice, but that's a Joseki mistake. This is maybe a weird Joseki choice. This is a weird Joseki choice. And you didn't defend A. All of that combined, and then here, this is not the big framework. Like the big framework's on the left. You need to play this move so I don't build that big framework, and then you can go on top later. So this was awkwardly timed. So yeah, Joseki's defense, and then the rest is just white outplay black. That's all it is. Yeah, cutting points. Yeah. Hopefully you found that helpful, or hopefully you found that fun. I guess. I don't know how helpful teaching games are, compared to like game reviews. But hopefully you guys at least like I know a lot of people enjoy teaching games, even if like I like to think that game reviews are a little bit more educational, but teaching games are fun. I know I love to get teaching games when I was learning. It was my favorite thing. I would always go and challenge like a strong player. So I know hopefully you found it fun, at least enjoyable. Yeah, thank you for the game. Yeah, I remember when I was going to a tournament. We go to a tournament like every year. And every single year we would go to this tournament. I would track down the strongest guy there, and I would challenge him to a match in between the rounds, and ask him for a teaching game between the rounds, or like just I ask him to play in between the rounds, and then eventually, I actually like many years later, I've been playing this guy every year in between the rounds for a teaching game, and then many years later, I actually played him in the tournament, and I was like, this is amazing. It went from teaching game to now we're competing in the tournament. I lost, but it was still really exciting. I was really happy. All right, any other Q&A? Any other Q&A? Actually, is anyone in the queue? Oh, Drooch. Next. Plenty is at tier 1, but we just gave you a teaching game Plenty, so we'll go ahead and do Drooch. Drooch, do you have a game? Droochy? Oh, your league game. Okay, I got it. I got it. All right. Your league game against Fussy.
Review
All
started.
right, let's see how you did. Boop. So, open corners. I think the right side is slightly bigger than the bottom because third line and fourth line is smaller than fourth line and fourth line, but fifth line and fourth line is bigger than fourth line and fourth line. So I think the opening pattern here is actually this. This is dated, but this is the old pattern. That's the old Fuseki. So, just so you know, that's an old pattern. Okay. I would immediately just play on the right. He's trying to say I don't care about big moves or open sides. I'm going to only focus on my framework. So if that's his game plan, I would literally just be like, okay, just somewhere over here. Like, okay, now you're going back to the basics. Like, keep them honest with the basics. Basically, like you're gonna do the basics, but okay. I would play on the left. If I'm gonna play an open side, it's the left. Otherwise, I would play largest framework. So it's either left side, open side, or largest framework. This is not good enough. Like black just goes here, and you're losing. That's that's very dangerous. Because shoulder hit to build this Moyo is very dangerous. This is okay. It's not my favorite way to handle this, but it's okay, I guess. Definitely big, but you're a move behind. That's fine. Now you have to deal with this somehow. So how to deal with this? Is there any openings? There's a peep right here, an attach, invasion. This is just Yosei, and there's an attack right here. So probably I would go for the attack. So probably I would go like right here. And I would try to use these two stones to destroy this influence. It'll be a fight. It's going to be a fight for who controls the center. Like who's really attacking who. That's going to depend on both players' fighting skills. That's very slow. And it's still invadable. This is really slow. You're like 2 moves behind now. Supporter reviews are Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's a calendar, guys. If you go to like Clausius.live/schedule, like Clausius.live/schedule, it takes you to my Google Calendar. You can literally see when things are streamed or what I have the schedule for the month. So Clausius.live/schedule. Black is like 2 moves ahead. So this is actually really hard. Maybe here. I don't know what to do. Okay, so you invaded. I can't fault you for this. This is probably like not a good spot. I'm pretty sure this is a bad spot. I think it's way too deep. But like you're handicapped, so it's really hard. Cap is good. There's nothing in this direction. You have to go this direction. There's nowhere else to go. This is just gonna run into a wall. Yeah, just life. Any life is good. A good life. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. And then boom. This one is not nearly as good life. Go extend first if you can, and then just play here. Try to avoid playing this one because that's broken shape, so it hurts this position a lot. And this is still a clamp. So this is just better. Now you don't have like a broken shape, so it's a little bit better for liberties. So it's just slightly better. This move's important. All right, you alive? Let's see. Black says yes. Do I agree? First, reduce the ice space. Boom. Expand the ice space, reduce the ice space, reduce the ice space. That's dead, so let's try this. That's alive. Okay, so it looks like this is the Vita Point, so can I play the Vita Point first? Okay, can white play the Vita Point first? That's looking pretty alive, so let's say if I play the Vita Point first, that's the other Vita Point. Boom, boom. Okay, you're alive. I agree. Cap's cool. No, no. Now you're 3 moves behind. 2.5. If you play here, you'd be 3 moves behind. Oh man, you are so handicapped. You are so handicapped. No, gotta improve your life. If you can take Sente here, it's super, super. Like this is an entire stone. It's an entire move. Oh man, the life and death. You wanted to cut J15? No, that's not important. We need like this move or something. Or this move. We need to like deal with this Moyo. We need to deal with this Moyo. This is overplay. You're gonna die. Like this is gonna die. This is gonna die. With a Knight's move. Knight's moves are caught up. No, you never have to overplay unless you're doing all or nothing. Are you gonna resign at this point? Is this like resign worthy? If it's resign worthy, maybe, but I don't know. I think overplay is not the answer here. I think yeah, this is not going well for you. Ooh, too passive. Cap. Cap. Yeah, Knight's move is not good. It's not gonna work. Chance. Defense first. Surround while helping yourself. AI says L10. That's too good. That's not. No. I would never see this move. Okay. You don't understand. This move's amazing. I would never see this move. That's a double peep. That's a surround. That is surround and cap. So this you can't escape because this move's at this line. This is perfect surround. From what I can read, it looks like a perfect surround. No, you can't do that. Just seal here. That's no. This move's too hard. You can't see the move. There's no way that you can see the move. There's too much reading right here. Just turn and Hane. Or Knight's move. Like, just go around. It's much easier. Just pushing white this way though. Like, what if I Sabaki a little bit? Or maybe go here? Or here? Who's attacking who? Who's under attack here? It's a question. Stop making your opponent stronger. This is really, really bad. Don't do that. No! Run! Cut! Run and cut! Why are we trying to make eyes in here? We have an escape route. Step 2 before step 3. I really hate this group. This group is not good. We still ended up having a run. That's cool. Unsettle your opponent for defense, huh? Very interesting idea. And then here. And then here. Lots of cool stuff in here. This might be overplay. This is overplay, right? Because if you live in the corner, but you die here... I don't know. I don't know what to do as white. White should lose, I think. These are all normal moves. I don't see anything wrong with normal moves. Maybe Atari first and go here. Just fix your base. Just fix your base. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch. Does this work? If this works, this is cool. I think black got a little bit greedy here. This is cool, but like, just here, here, here. Stop trying to kill it and start just taking away the base. Like, you're trying to kill with a weak group, and that's just not gonna work. It looks like this backfired. Oops. Okay. Now white has hope again. Actually, white has a lot of hope. Yeah. This is very hopeful for white. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. No. No. That's overplay. Peep. This is just better. Forces him to into an empty triangle, and you surround. This does nothing. Yeah, I agree with that. Is there not a way to connect here? Wow. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Maybe here. Wow. That sucks. Killing stuff is hard, man. Killing is hard. That's a mistake. You have to fix. You have to fix. You have to fix. Boop. Boop. Let's say boop. 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 Ouch. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie, ouch. That's cool, but it does nothing. It's cool, but it does nothing. Okay, so we're in a huge capturing race. We're in a huge capturing race. Okay. Nobis are the answer. Empty triangles and Ataris and stuff are not the answer for liberties. Here? Guess not. Oh, this is the end of the game. Did he resign? Resignation, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Yep. That do it. All right, so here, 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 here. Still dead. No, 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 no. Here, white has to go here. Oh, it's so close. I think this is questions though. Like maybe he'll make a mistake in that. Ah, it's so. Wait. Ah, not quite. One liberty short. One liberty short. Ah. Yeah, that works too. Okay. Yeah, you know, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It's a good resign point. It's a good resign point. So the overplay worked because you didn't play defense. You just played defense. Everything is in Black's favor. Oh, very exciting game. And then you invaded instead of playing defense. Um, I think I think that what is very interesting is that Black was like 3 stones ahead, like 3 moves ahead, and then White made this overplay turn into an all or nothing capture race. It's very exciting. Very fun, a very interesting game. You shouldn't make it so dangerous, Dridge. Like maybe just shouldn't be 3 moves behind in the first place. But very exciting game. Um, yeah, this move is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because those 4 stones that matter. So yeah, this is just Black would have won this race by understanding liberties in a capture race. And I think this is alive. Looks alive. Maybe there's a co. No, because it's double co. Fascinating life and death. Fascinating life and death. Maybe just here. No, because then here, here, here. That is a co. Yeah. I would say the losing move is this move. That's the losing move. Exciting game. Exciting game. Alrighty. Queue is empty, so any Q&As? And for those interested, this was from the Klossy League. This is a league game. 15, 530, no handicap. Come with 0.5. Yeah, that's right. Disabled analysis, cool. Japanese, no ranked. Yeah, it's correct settings. Klossy League. So how many games have we got so far? All right, so you guys are the first game in the league. First game of the league. Fun, fun, fun. And for those interested, you can still join if you join tonight. Like tomorrow is the deadline to join. Tomorrow is the deadline to join. I need to play my game. Against Illuck. I need to play my game. Oh, I'm so out of practice though. So out of practice. I don't know when to play though. Like I'm so freaking busy. I gotta play the Simul's tomorrow too. I'm so busy. But yeah, I need to figure out. Yeah. Friday at 5 p.m. CST. I don't want to play after the Simul. My brain will be dead. My brain will be dead after the Simul. Ideally, I'd play tonight. All right. Q&A. Proves my credibility. What credibility do I need? Like, I have a lot of credibility, I think. Um, I guess for people who don't know me, it improves my credibility. But people like the amount of simuls and teaching games that I've done, and like the 14 years of experience. I've gone to Korea. I've competed at Go Congress so many times. Like my 14 years experience, I think, is my credibility. But I guess if you don't know my history, I guess it helps. But I feel like I've earned the right to not have to play. I put so much effort into this game. I'm like, I think I'm good enough to not play. That I can teach. But I mean, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, I know. I know. You make a valid point. See you, Fossey. You make a valid point. I justify it to myself, and I'm like, I don't want to. I put 14 years of playing. Oh man. I've played thousands and thousands of games. I really want to go to Go Club though. I don't really want to play online. I want to go to Go Club and play. That's what I want to do. Like not playing for advertising, not playing for marketing, just playing with my friends at Go Club. That's what I want to do. Any other Q&As we can do? Any Q&As before the end of the stream? We have a little bit of time left for some Q&As. Any advice that I can give you guys? Anything that you're struggling with that I can maybe help you tackle? Any concept questions? DDK direction of play. Glossy approach series. So direction of play is just literally open corners, empty sides. So like for example, open corners first. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Open sides. Okay. Sides without enclosures, without extensions, just empty sides. Okay. And then you go for the widest one. So the left side, right? And then you can approach, whatever. And then when you're choosing Joseki, don't play the first Joseki that you think of. Like, think about direction to play. So in this case, you have A, B, C, D, at least, right? And you're like, okay, well, left side was the direction. So let's continue on the left. Let's pincer. And I think for some reason, double digit Qs are afraid of the pincer. It's really interesting. right? So that's direction of play. Just play Joseki's in the right direction of play, and it'll really help. So open corners, open sides, and then largest framework. Largest framework. All right, why was the H3 pincer bad? Because approaching right here is very, like, this is really solid. So I can easily take your base and attack you. And right here is very light, so it's very easy to escape. So it's more for center. It's not for points. It's for center. So it's good for building a Moyo, but it's not so good for playing on that side. It's not a good side move. It's a good Moyo move. But here, you're not going for Moyo, so you're really, really close to thickness. So you just get a weak group immediately. It's like playing too close to thickness. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the idea. You're just playing too close to thickness. Any other questions? Classy Approach series gives a lot of examples about directional play and stuff. What do you do when you don't know the Joseki that your opponent initiates? Well, first, make a mental note to look it up after the game. Second, understand you are likely going to take a local loss. If your opponent knows the Joseki and you don't, you should not get as much as they do. Okay? And what you do to handle it is think defense first. So watch your cutting points. Watch your bases. Don't get and try not to get surrounded, of course. So whenever bats, whenever you have a Joseki that you don't know, you're likely going to take a local loss, but just start playing defense first and just try not to die, and it'll work. It'll be a loads better than trying to make it look like something you've seen before and then you miss a cutting point and everything dies. But kitten. It works half the time because 3/3 might be a base half the time. Like the 3/3 is really good for making a base. So it actually can be a good point. If you don't know what to do and you're trying to make a base, 3/3 can be a good point for making a base. It's not always correct. Like sometimes there's better bases. But just play defense. Like watch your cutting points and make a base and try to run away. Don't get surrounded. And realize you're not going to get as good a result as they are. I'm content. I'm happy. I'm having an okay day. Pretty good day. I'm a little overworked, but I'm good. I am pretty good. Pretty happy. Can't complain too much. All right. It looks like we are coming to a slow point of the stream, so I think now would be a good stopping point. Just no questions, no people in the queue, so probably now's a good stopping point. So let's go ahead and see if we can raid someone. Let's see, Bats is not streaming, so Lion Guy Sai streaming, so we can raid Lion. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream and finding it helpful. Don't forget, simul's are tomorrow for the supporters. So if you want to see me play, tune in tomorrow. Supporters, if you want to join, you have to join in at 1. So the simuls will be open for the first 10 supporters, or maybe like the first 30 minutes, however many people show up to 10. And yeah, so at 1 p.m. tomorrow, my time, right there, my time, right over there, we will be doing simuls. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy the stream. Hopefully you found something that you learned, and yeah, hopefully I will see you guys more in the future. Have a good one.